Hello, handsome people. And I guess if there's any women listening, you can be handsome too. I have had a whole bunch of coaching people leave over the last couple of months. Obviously, like people leave when they finish up their time in the coaching. And I just haven't sat down and interviewed any of them or read out their victories. And it occurred to me that there's a massive backlog of these. I've got them, all the notes written up here on my laptop, and I just, for whatever reason, haven't sat down and recorded them all. I've been doing a bunch of other content, lots of BDSM content, relationship content. So let's jump straight into this one. This is one of the guys that finished up the coaching program, and his story is so freaking cool. When he came to the program, he was a virgin. He hadn't, I think, even kissed anyone and very inexperienced in all of that. And it really doesn't take long, guys. I keep saying this all the time. Obviously, it helps a lot if you're in a coaching program. Let's be very clear on that. But literally, any of you guys that are virgins or inexperienced, you can lose it in the next couple of weeks. If you take a little bit longer than that, you can lose it in the next couple of months. Don't beat yourself up if it takes you a little bit longer, but it really doesn't take that long. It really is just go out there, talk to a lot of women, say hello. You don't have to do a good job. You can be a nervous train wreck. You can be honest with them. And I encourage that, and tell them that you're a virgin. And some of them will like you enough to go on some dates. And some of those people will like you enough to have sexual coital intercourse with you. It really isn't complicated. But when you're a virgin, you obviously can build it up into this big, massive thing. And you define yourself by your lack of. In other words, you say, I haven't had sex yet. There must be something wrong with me. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not masculine enough. Maybe I'm not attractive enough. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm unlovable, unworthy. No, you just haven't asked enough women if they would like to have sex with you. So I'll read out this guy's last post in the group, talking through some of his wins and his victories. He says, thanks, guys. I loved doing the program. That's great. Wouldn't it be hilarious if someone got through the whole program and they're like, wow, that fucking sucked, which, by the way, it never really happens. Went into the program having a couple of goals that seemed unattainable. I told myself that if I could wire $10,000 into an account, into Andy's bank account, and magically achieve the goal, then I would do so in a heartbeat. This wasn't quite that. Yeah, you still have to be the one to go out and do it. I make that very abundantly clear. When you apply for the coaching program, this is the form that you have to fill out. And look, it says, all right, before proceeding, please make sure all of the following questions are a yes. I am absolutely serious about changing my life, improving myself, and taking action. I understand Andy only coaches men and women who are serious. I am ready to go all in and fix my life for good. And then the last one, maybe the most important checklist item that you have to tick off, is I am willing to take action. I will take the actions needed to build an elite life. I understand I'm the one who needs to do the work to change. So I make it very clear that you're not just paying me, money and magically you're going to get your goals. You have to be the one to do the work to change. Nobody's going to come and save you. I even have a question down here that you fill out when you apply, which is on a scale of 1 to 10, how willing and ready are you to make the changes necessary to improve your life? I make it very clear. Any of you listening, let's say you have no intention of ever signing up for my coaching and you're here watching all the content and, you're doing your own thing. You're improving yourself slowly each day, each week, each month. If you literally just fucking put this on a sticky note, this little bit here, I'll make it nice and big for you. If you put this bit on a sticky note and read this out to yourself and declare this to yourself every single day, do you understand how life-changing this statement or these two sentences here are? Maybe just the last sentence. If you say, I understand I am the one who needs to do the work to change, if you literally just say that to yourself every day, holy crap, that is such a beautiful mantra and a way to get yourself to actually fucking change. So many people sit there waiting for that beautiful, magical, lottery winning day where just their whole life changes and they find the love of their life and, they suddenly just run into some more money or they suddenly have the body that they want. It's no, motherfucker, you are the one who needs to do the work to change. Nobody's coming along to save you. You're not just magically going to have the life that you want. You are the one that needs to do the work to change. So any of you can take that. Again, even if you have no interest in coaching, take this. Just copy this. Write this down on a sticky note and say this to yourself every day. I am willing to take action. I will take the actions needed to build an elite life. I understand I am the one that needs to do the work to change. Repeat that to yourself 1,000 times over the next couple of months, and I promise that will be life-changing. You have no idea how much that will rewire your brain and get you to start believing and really embracing the fact that, okay, if it is to be, it's up to me. Nobody else is going to give me the life that I want, including even if I pay a coach, by the way, like even if you pay me, yes, to some degree, I'm going to push you. We're all going to push you. We're going to embrace you and build up accountability and all of that. That's why you're paying for coaching. Like, yes, to some degree, coaching does sort of help with this step, but you still need to be the one that goes out and talks to the women. You have to be the one that loses the weight. You have to be the one that starts the business and asks people for money if you're building a business. So, yeah, this statement here can be life-changing. So this coaching client goes on to say, this wasn't quite that. Achieving the goals took a lot of hard work and disappointment on my end. Disappointment only comes from expectations. We worked with him on that a lot, but yeah, he still felt some disappointment. And there's nothing wrong with feeling disappointed or feeling rejected or feeling frustrated. Like, that can be part of the self-improvement journey for sure. And he says, balanced out by a healthy number of breakthroughs and victories, but the support I got from the coaches and my peers in the program was invaluable. Ultimately, I achieved the main goals that I set out to achieve. Look at this. I had my first kiss. Our boy has his first kiss, ladies and gentlemen. He did it. He lost his virginity. Oh my goodness, he did it. I basically have a girlfriend. Holy crap. Which, even if I didn't say it directly, was my main goal. Yeah, lots of people are like have a little secret goal that they have in the back of their mind when they come to the program, but they're not quite, they don't think it's possible, so they don't say it. And one of the things that I think we're pretty decent at as coaches in the program is like digging deeper and saying, no, like tell us that big goal that you have that you're keeping back. Because a lot of people will come to the program and just say, I want to have my first kiss and I want to lose my virginity. And I'm like, awesome. And then what? And they're like, dude, I'd just be happy if I lost my virginity. And I'm like, cool. That's only going to take the next month or two. What are you going to do after that? And what are you going to do for the rest of your life? Like, a big part of the coaching is that we want people to start, and the same as my channel, I want you all to start thinking long term and not just thinking about the next goal. Like, yes, think about the next goal. Yes, work on that. Yes, achieve that. All of that beautiful shit. But like, why do you want this goal? Like, why do you want to have more sex? Why do you want to have more fulfilling sex? Why do you want a girlfriend? Or for some of you, why do you want a boyfriend? Why do you want more money? Why do you want to start a business? Like, what is it leading to? Ultimately, what are your principles and your life philosophies, and what do you want out of your life, and who do you want to be, and all of that? Like, start asking yourself some of these deeper questions. And then you start to get to the deeper goals of like, what, actually, I think I want a girlfriend. Okay, great. Why? Well, I want someone that I feel like I could trust and be vulnerable with and practice connection and intimacy and trust and all of that. I would like to build something really beautiful with someone. I think that would be amazing. I would love sort of like a partner in life, where we can push each other with our goals and our own self-improvement. Okay, amazing, beautiful. And then what? Wow, holy fuck, okay. I guess after that, maybe I would want to have a family. Why? Fuck. I guess I've never thought about that. Okay. Well, I think it would be beautiful to raise another form of consciousness, another life form. I think that would be amazing to see them grow into their own person and to get to help with that. There's a little bit of ego in it for me. Like, I get to sort of pass on my genes or my knowledge, or, I get to live a little bit longer through my kids. After I die, I know that they will still be there. Cool. Great. And then what? Fuck. Okay. Like, if you keep digging deeper with some of this stuff, you get to the really juicy stuff. Like the meaning of life stuff, the stuff you actually really deeply care about. So I love playing that game with people, or like asking them, like, why do you want this? Or what comes after this? Or what is this leading to? Or ultimately, who or what do you want to be in life? Like, what mark do you want to leave on this earth? And so, yeah, I really, in case you can't tell, I get really passionate about coaching for getting to the deeper shit. And this is like the beginning of the deeper shit, but there's stuff like way beyond this guy. And as he goes on to say, even if it doesn't work out with this girl, this here is the juicy stuff. Just knowing that I have the capability to get into a relationship is invaluable. That there is some beautiful stuff. And then you can go even deeper and further than that. And then he goes on to talk about the actual juicy stuff. These are the milestones that look good on paper, but this journey has taught me so much more. I've gained a huge amount of perspective on dating and relationships. I've learned the value of surrounding yourself with motivated people and having an accountability partner. I've developed tools to use going forwards when I feel stuck or in a rut. Yeah, this stuff is like more the actual juicy shit that we teach you in coaching. Like, a lot of people come to the program, and I guess some of you are coming to like this free content, this YouTube channel, this community. And you think that the only reason you're here is to like get your dick wet. or to make some more money or start a business, that initial surface level goals. And those goals are beautiful, obviously. I'm not talking you out of those goals, but that's not why you're here. And it's not why people come to the program. You're here for the juicier shit, like to gain some perspective on dating and relationships, to figure out your place in the universe and who you are and who you want to be, to learn how to be honest and open and ethical, and to learn how to add value to other people's lives. And in doing so, add value to your own life. You're learning how to, or you're doing the process of surrounding yourself with other people who will push you and motivate you and all of that. You're learning accountability partners or building an accountability network or a support group, It's the first thing that we get people to do in the coaching program is we hook them up with another partner and through the program. And then for years afterwards, some people are still accountability partners 5 years after they join the coaching program. You will basically push each other and keep each other accountable. And so you guys can use all of this stuff. Like if you have no interest in the coaching program, use all this shit in your own life. Like get an accountability partner or several accountability partners. Surround yourself with other motivated people. That could be on a forum, that could be in real life. I've done articles on how to make and build friends groups and support networks. If you go to my blog, killyourinnerloser.com, click at the very top, this little menu icon up there, type in the search, just type in friends and search for the word friends. And then this very first article here, how to make friends. It's literally a guide on like how to make friends, how to find people who have your back and push you, different ways that you can meet those people. So go and read that. You'll learn how to make a nice little friends support network. But that's one of my biggest cheat codes in life, honestly, is like every goal I've ever achieved, everything I've ever done, all the stuff that I've built, including this channel and, the community in general, has been with the support of like other people. Like I haven't done anything by myself. I've had a ton of accountability partners. I've had people that love me and care about me and support me and push me. I have all of you to help keep me accountable. Like understand that just you guys and girls watching these videos keeps me accountable. Like it makes me want to better myself and be there for you and give lots of love and support to all of you. Like literally you all help me be a better person just by fucking existing and watching and being here. So thank you for that. I'm very grateful for that. But the more like accountability that you can have, the easier this stuff is. Like everything I've set up in my coaching program. And again, if you have no interest in the coaching program, just do this in your own life. But everything I've set up in the coaching program has been to give people more support and accountability and all of that. Everything that's in the coaching program is to get people starting to think more long-term and to support them long-term, including the fact that you stay essentially in a version of the coaching program for the rest of your life. We have a little members-only community and there's like 100 and something people in there now. And it's everyone that's ever come through the coaching program. And there's like a forum, basically a private members only forum where everybody pushes each other and keeps each other accountable, because that's how you achieve big goals. You stay in a group of people that are motivated and kicking ass and all of that. So take these same tools that I put in the coaching program. They're in there for a fucking reason, because I wanted the coaching program to I've continually been updating and changing and improving the coaching program to get people more and more success and more long-term happiness. And so everything that's in there, you can just steal for yourself and put in your own life, okay? Accountability, all of that kind of stuff. He goes on to say, unfortunately, I'm still in an endless battle to self-motivate and get work done. We're going to talk about this in a second. I'm going to finish reading and we're going to talk about this, ladies and gentlemen, because this is a lot of you, isn't it? A lot of you feel like you're in an endless battle to motivate yourself, and I have a lot to say about that. This is nothing new, and while I didn't make any headway on that during the program, I did come away with some things to try when I eventually muster up the motivation to dig into a project again. This is deeper than just a work ethic problem. I've had to reevaluate what I want to prioritize in life, and I'm hoping that eventually the motivation to begin working again will come naturally. Okay, so you see how he's talking a lot about motivation. He's talking about self-motivating. He's talking about endless battle. He's talking about using force on himself and trying to force himself to be productive. And that's what work ethic means. Work ethic means forcing yourself. I say skip the entire battle. Look, battle, motivate, motivation, work, motivation. He's using all these words that sound like force, sound like a battle. Doesn't that sound difficult? If I had to sit here and motivate myself and force myself and battle with myself in order to do content, to build this YouTube channel to 56,000 subscribers or whatever we are, to build up my Spotify podcast, to build up my blog, which has like 600 and something articles on it, to do coaching for the last 4 years and change literally at this point almost 1,000 people's lives. If that had been a battle that had required motivation and willpower, I would not have done it. I would have given up immediately. I am not a very disciplined person. I am not very hardworking. I don't have a lot of willpower, and I certainly don't have any discipline. In fact, I wrote about this over on my blog in an article back in 2020, so literally 4 years ago, called Discipline and Willpower Don't Fucking Matter. And in that article, at the start, I say, I'm going to share something with you that cracks me up. A lot of people seem to think that I have a lot of discipline and willpower. I'll let you in on a little secret. I am incredibly lazy. Andy, the man you see in front of you, is incredibly fucking lazy. I don't have a lot of discipline. I do not have a lot of willpower. I don't force myself to be motivated. I fail at my daily habits. I wouldn't use the word fail these days, but I fail at my daily habits multiple times a week. I cheat on my diet. I skip going to the gym for months at a time. I give in to my addictions all the time. I am anything but disciplined and strong-willed. I spend hours a day lazing around on the couch. That's still true to this day. I mindlessly watch stupid shit on YouTube. That's still true. Give me a choice between what I don't use the word should anymore, but give me a choice between what I think I should do and doing what I want to do, and I will almost always go with the thing I want to do. I've always been poorly disciplined. You can read the rest of this article if you want to, but the little secret to this whole little article and this whole discussion of willpower and discipline is I don't rely on discipline or willpower. I make the tasks easier. This is what I talk about when I say baby steps to you guys and girls all the time. Rather than thinking that you have to build yourself up and push yourself to be this fucking insane Sigma male grind set guy who can just get done a billion things in a day, like, yes, over time you will slowly work up your work capacity and your ability to get work done. Yes, you will do more. Like 4 years from now, you'll be someone who's capable of taking more action than you are right now. That's how that works. But you don't have to leap forward towards that point of view. You slowly build up your work ethic or your work capacity a tiny bit each week. But in the meantime, while you are that lazy person who doesn't want to go outside and talk to people, or who doesn't want to go to the gym, or who doesn't want to start a business, or who doesn't want to lose some weight, make the task easier. This is why I say, if you want to go outside and learn how to talk to women, just go outside and think about talking to women. Literally walk around for a couple of hours just imagining what it would be like to talk to some of the women that you walk past, and then slowly work up the courage to smile at some of them, and then slowly work up the courage to say hi and give them one compliment and then leave, or ask them for the time, or ask them for, directions somewhere, and slowly work up the capacity, or work up to the point where you can then say, hi, you're really cute. I'm Andy. What are you up to today? Are you single? Blah, blah, blah. Can I get your phone number? You work up to that. You make the task easier. My Tinder guide, which I've said a billion times, is 130,000 words, which is the length of several books, several novels. It is literally the length of 3 or 4 novels. Do you think I just sat down and, motivated myself to get this thing done, or used willpower, or just mustered up the motivation to dig into this project? Fuck no. It was terrifying, and I'm a lazy person, and I didn't want to write it. Well, I wanted to write it, but I didn't want to just sit down and write for 12 hours a day. And so what I did is I made the task easier. I told myself all I have to do is lay on the couch all day, outside of my job. So I'd work my job, and then any time outside of that, all I have to do is lay on the couch with my laptop on my lap and have my Word document open. And if I type something, that's amazing. If I don't type anything, that's okay too. If I sit there and watch YouTube for 5 hours and I procrastinate and I don't type anything out, that's okay. At least I fucking tried. At least I'm laying on the couch and there is a chance that I will write something. And that's all I did every day for 9 months, and that's how I wrote the Tinder guide. I just gave myself the opportunity to write the Tinder guide. I put myself in the right position or the right space or moment to be able to write something. And a lot of days I couldn't write anything. I just sat there or I laid there on that couch for like 6 hours watching YouTube or watching movies and avoiding and procrastinating, and I didn't write a single word. But then the next day when I was there on the couch, I had this feeling of, holy crap, I just laid on the couch for 8 hours yesterday and I did nothing. Okay, I do want to write something today. I don't want to just repeat that today. And then I would write something that day. And some days I would write for 10 fucking hours. And some days, like I said, I would write nothing. Some days I would write for 1 minute and I would write one sentence, and that's all I would do. The project that I'm doing right now that I announced yesterday, the 365-day project, that is me committing to baby steps. If every day you just take a little baby step and I record like an easy piece of content like this is a very easy video to record. Or maybe, if you do a piece of art every day or you take one photo a day, I have a guy in my coaching group I encourage to do a 365-day project. And he's just taking one photo of himself every day for his dating apps. If you just do one little baby step every day, that is the shit that adds up. So that was what we tried to get across to this guy. But this problem that he's talking about here, it's not really a problem, but like this next leveling up in his evolution, this only really came up at the very end of the coaching program. Like all of this came up at the end. And so he's still working on this stuff in the members only group. Like I said, he gets to stay in the members only community for the rest of his life, and he'll be kicking ass and working on all of this. But yeah, the trick is to skip this motivation, endless battle, self-motivate, work. Like, guys, it's such a funny framing of it, What do we do? What does your brain want to do if I tell you that something is going to be work, you need to motivate yourself, it's going to be an endless battle? What does your brain do if you hear those words? Battle, work, struggle. What does your brain do? Your brain goes, oh, fuck that. I want to avoid that. I don't want that. Who wants a battle? Who wants to do work? We procrastinate work. We procrastinate our chores. We procrastinate homework. Any of you that remember university or you're still in university, you procrastinate your homework at school. We don't want to do that shit. But if you instead reframe it as something fun, rather than saying it's something that I have to do or I need to do or I should do, gross, that makes you want to avoid it. If you say it's something that I get to do or something that I'm excited to do, like literally if you just change the language that you use when you refer to your goals or the things that you want to work on, and if you say, I'm excited to do this, man, I can't wait to do this, I'm so grateful that I get to work on this, instead of saying, I'm in an endless battle to self-motivate and get work done. Ew, work. I hate fucking work. Ew, ethic. I have to have a work ethic. Ugh. I have to muster up the motivation. God. And even this language. Look at this. Eventually. He's literally using language that sounds like procrastination. He is literally avoiding. I will eventually muster up the motivation. Why not do it right now? Well, because you don't want to. That's the point. That's why you're saying I will eventually muster up. Look how many extra steps he's inserting. I will eventually muster up the motivation to then get started. You're framing it. A lot of you are doing the same thing. You're framing it as a battle, a struggle, as work, as something that you need to eventually muster up the motivation to do. No, make it easier. Make it more fun. Drop it down or make it smaller into something that's like a little baby step that you will actually take today, or make it really fun and say, I'm excited to do this. I can't wait. Or give yourself a little reward and say, okay, I'm going to go to the gym and it's going to be so cool. I'm going to have fun. I'm just going to fuck around and mess around and learn all the machines and figure out the weights, and I'm going to have a great time. I'm going to put some motivational music on, so it's really exciting for me. Maybe I'll listen to a cool podcast, something that I'm looking forward to. And then as a reward, when I come home, I'll have like a nice juicy steak for dinner or something. Or I'll buy myself a tiny little donut and I'll make sure it doesn't have too many calories, and I'll have a nice little donut, and that can be my reward. I'll reward myself like a little dog or something, like I've been a good boy or a good girl, and that'll make that fun. But find ways to make this shit easier and more fun. That's all I've ever done with all of my goals. And I've talked about this in several videos, this one here. Suffering is optional. And then this is probably the biggest, most relevant one. It's called You Don't Have to Suffer to Reach Your Goals. So go and check that out on my channel. I made that a couple of years ago, and literally talking about how you don't have to make these goals difficult, ladies and gentlemen. I think there's like a weird fetish. It's like you're all sadomasochists. you all. It's like we all as human beings are sadomasochists. It's like we get off on how much we suffered. It's like, look how much I'm suffering, especially when it comes to self-improvement, and especially men. Part of masculinity, or a big part of masculinity that is celebrated, is like, look how much I suffered. Look at me cracking the whip over my own back and making shit difficult for myself just so I can say, look at how hard a worker I am. And for me, I used to do that for so many years until at some point I got to a point where I was like, you know what? I don't give a fuck about the validation and the ego and being able to jerk myself off over how hard I worked. I just want the goal. I just want to have the sex or the money or the deep relationships or the love or the self-acceptance or the happiness or whatever it is that I want. I just want that thing. I'm so sick of like fucking making it difficult on myself or it being difficult. And so at that point, I transitioned to baby steps and making things easier, and gratitude and love and happiness and joy. And, instead of saying it's an endless battle to motivate, I instead phrased it as like, man, I'm so excited. This is going to be so cool. And if I don't have any motivation, that's okay. I'll just do a tiny bit. And if I can't even do that tiny little baby step, then I'll find an even easier baby step to do. If it's the gym and I can't go to the gym because I have no motivation, fine, I will just like do one push-up today. I'll do one fucking push-up. You get down on the floor, you do your one push-up and you go, okay, well, fuck it. I'm down here anyway. All right, I'll crank out like 20 push-ups. You do your 20 push-ups. You're like, okay, that was okay. Maybe I'll do another 20 push-ups. You do 20 more and you're like, yeah, look at me. I'm pretty fucking good at this. Maybe I'll do 20 more push-ups. And there you go. You got 60 fucking push-ups done when your only goal was to do one push-up. But if you are in this endless battle, to self-motivate and get work done, you won't do anything. You'll just avoid and procrastinate. Like this guy is kind of feeling himself, I'm hoping. Like, look how much procrastination there is. I'm hoping that's one layer of procrastination. Eventually, that's a second layer of procrastination. The motivation, third layer of procrastination. I will begin, fourth layer of procrastination. And hopefully it will come naturally. 5 layers of like procrastination and avoiding in one sentence. Isn't that magical? And I used to do the same thing all the time. So I'm not having to go at this guy at all. And again, this all only came up right at the end of his coaching. So we didn't quite get enough time to work on this, but he's working on this right now as we speak in the members only community and seeing and discovering that motivation doesn't really matter. Like, you don't have to force yourself. You rewrite the entire script of how you refer to your goals. And instead of saying, my goals are like an endless battle, I have to motivate, I have to be a hard worker. It's like, nah, motherfuckers, take a page out of Andy's book. Be one of the laziest pricks on the entire planet, because that is me, and just find baby steps and get excited about this and do a tiny little bit each day. And part of that can require humility. It requires quite a bit of being humble to say, okay, you know what? Maybe I'm not going to like muster up the motivation to like dig into a project again. Maybe I'll just take one pathetically small baby step right now. Maybe it won't change the world. I'll just go outside and I'll think about talking to one woman. That's not going to change the world. It's not going to do a lot, but at least it's something. Like, anything more than 0 is amazing. So he goes on to say, I'm doing fine in my career as a whole. I'm having some time off creatively, and that seems like a very normal part of the process for me. I was just hoping I could trick my brain into cutting through that particular pattern. You can, my friend. You can. And we did talk a little bit about this when he finished up the coaching. But yeah, the trick is to stop seeing it as an endless battle, to stop needing motivation, to stop needing willpower, to stop needing discipline, to humble yourself enough to just take one tiny little baby step. Best of luck to you all. Great group of people in here. Yeah, and this guy did a hell of a lot and achieved a hell of a lot. And his next little challenge that I kind of gave him when he finished up in the program was, I was like, stop using motivation as much. Like, work on or allow yourself to lean on baby steps and just doing a tiny little bit every single day. So big shout out to him. The takeaway here is he did a hell of a lot. Had his first kiss. How fucking amazing is that? Lost his virginity. Amazing. Has a girlfriend. Amazing. You guys have no idea how excited I get when like we have someone in the coaching program who's like a virgin and they have their very first kiss or they hold hands with someone for the first time. Like, that shit gets me so fucking unbelievably happy, because it feels like I get to, through all of you, even if you're not in the coaching program, but you just like leave me a YouTube comment saying what you're working on or saying what you achieved. I get to like relive some of my fondest memories. Like, I remember my first kiss when I was like 19, And I get to remember like losing my virginity, and I get to remember like the times I had sex and, got a girlfriend. And, for some people that come through and they start a business, I get to remember what it was like for me to earn my very first dollar and how much that meant to me. So I'm really grateful that I get to sit here and do this, that this is my life. I get to coach all of you and do content and, have my beautiful coaching clients. So I'm really grateful. And if you'd like to join the program, you know what to do. Link is down in the description below. If any of the stuff that this guy went through or achieved resonates with you, if you like the idea of coming to a coaching program where we won't fucking use motivation or force on you, we will get you excited and fired up and motivated, of course. Like, you're paying us to help you get motivated, but like, we will show you that there's an alternate way. Like, you don't have to suffer to reach these goals. You can just show up and take effortless action every day and have fun with it. And it can be this beautiful, easy experience. Like, goals and self-improvement are allowed to be easy. So if all of that sounds appealing to you, you're welcome to join the coaching program. We have payment plans. So as long as you can pay $500 a month, which a lot of you can, you're eligible for the coaching program, and we would love, love, love to have you. As always, ladies and gentlemen, go out there, crush those goals, but it doesn't have to be a big effort. It doesn't have to require a lot of motivation and force and willpower and work ethic in order to crush those goals. You can effortlessly crush those goals. And maybe I can rephrase that to go out there and crush those tiny little baby steps. And every single one of you can crush a baby step. That's the point.